Hello everyone, welcome in, welcome in. We are going to be playing some more Ace Attorney today, which means I'm going to be doing my best to not mess up on the voice acting part. I just realized I never set it to be amateur voice acting, but that is what we're doing today, because of course it is. Let me get that tag added, because of course. Let's just try it. Let's try adding the voice acting. But like, I shouldn't do just voice acting because, of course, people might think that I'm like actually good at it. I don't want to like delude them into thinking that I think that highly of myself. So anyway, we're going to be playing some more Ace Attorney today, and I'm going to do my best to remember all the voices we gave them last week. I probably won't remember. There's something funky going on with my ads. I tried to run an ad earlier so that it would kind of spiral out and not run it for a while, but it keeps warning me that it's going to, and then it doesn't do it. So if you're viewing live, I'm so sorry about that. But if you're not and you're watching this later, then you missed out on all of them anyway. So anywho, when we last left off, we had gotten our client declared innocent of the charges of being a thief. However, now he's being charged with the crime of murder. So that's great. We are gonna try to prove him innocent of the murder. We have no evidence. We have no nothing. We know that he claims he wasn't there, even though the timestamps from his card says he was there. His wallet was dropped there, and just a whole lot of things that aren't really making sense. And we're probably gonna get found guilty because I don't know what I'm doing. So good luck us. Hey, Nick! What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmey's trial today. Oh, I thought she was going to say two, so I didn't. They're having Detective Atmey's trial today. Detective Atmey? They say they're going to try him as Masque to Masque. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Masque to Masque trial. Oh, I'm sure that's our client. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. Oh. Well, at least we don't have to do the little girl voice for her. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. Aw. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Sir, that's literally why you're on trial today. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you were the murderer? Like, are you really the murderer? No. I'm just a poor thief. No, wait. That's not right. A thief can't really be poor. I mean, isn't he poor because his wife spends all his money? Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. So we suspect that Luke Atmey was doing that. I mean, clearly. But if Luke Atmey got himself set up as Masque to Masque, we don't know what's gonna happen next. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? It's possible. But today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. Hmm? Click, 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 click. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Ugh. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand. Yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. What does that mean? I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Me either, Judge. Ha! Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. What? That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. He doesn't understand anything. He's just like, you know what? Whatever. It's fine. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Ken Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. I think that was yesterday. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? He's savoring his coffee instead. Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe be a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I got nothing better. I mean, I have no way of... I have zero ways of defending this guy. I don't have any evidence that supports him as not being a killer. I don't have anything, really. I have evidence that points against him. I have evidence that says that, you know, he dropped his wallet, he was being blackmailed, his thing, like, is the reason. Kane has a list of all the things he supposedly stole. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's just too much going on that points to my client being guilty. No, I don't want him to testify, but I got no other options because anybody else is going to prove him guilty no matter what. So, I guess we have to let him. I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Of course we will. Ha! You got guts, Trite. Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. I wish I could do a different old man voice, but unfortunately that's the best I got. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No, that's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Right? Me too. Well, Mr. Delight already looks pretty guilty with the face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ha. Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office to KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m. The exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. What? Ah. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Alright. I need so much more information. Press. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit...
1 a.m. That's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct?
It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. Blackmail letter I got. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere.
Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then?
Oh, of course. They said things like, steal this or take that. Ah, why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? If we press harder, he's gonna confess to being Masque to Masque, but technically he was already doing that in the previous trials, so... Press harder? So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway.
Oh, is that right? Because you intended to kill him?
After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of.
An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony.
Yes, sir!
Ha!
A muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. That's true. Alright, it wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Was it? If you don't want your true identity to revealed to the world, come to KB Security. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. I mean, it would've, but that would prove our client guilty, so... Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway?
The blackmail letter said, if you don't want your identity revealed, correct?
I'm sure it was referring to the whole Masque to Masque thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me.
He didn't?
Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. That's why Miss Delight didn't believe he was Masque to Masque. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. Then why did you go? Okay, so I'm sure we're supposed to present something to this, but I can't think of what. Because I would imagine that... I don't know. The thing that he has to lose is Desi. So we can't really, like, show Desi as the thing. So I'm not really sure what to say to this. Oh, we just read all this. Oops. I didn't actually mean to press this one. I meant to press the next one, but I'm almost positive we're supposed to present something to this. I'm not sure what yet. So. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right.
A security chief? You?
And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge. A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? Sometimes his voice makes me yawn in the middle of using it, and I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to talk. This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject? I mean, we kind of need to know why he was fired, I think. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well... The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back.
Defendant, please answer the question.
I needed money.
You needed money?
Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was security team chief... Wow. Terrible. You stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I'd never asked that. Me too. I was somehow able to keep it secret, and it made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company, is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you.
So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony.
Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn from the worst, crashed, and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. It already was. He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. Doesn't she? Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby. What else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste! So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples.
Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright.
There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least, that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We'd better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Like, literally. I think he's guilty. Honestly, I think he's guilty. I think it's gonna end up like the claw face man who was guilty the whole time, and when we first started like talking to him, we thought he was innocent. No. I have a feeling that he's probably guilty. He probably killed this man, and we somehow have to prove it. Because I really thought that, like, he was gonna pull some kind of, like, secret stunt escape thing as Masque to Masque, and he didn't do that. So now I'm thinking maybe he's guilty. But they did make a big deal about the fact that Luke Atmey's trial is in the next room. So, I don't know. Alright. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. It says, you don't want your true identity revealed to the world. I mean, I feel like that would cause him issues, though. So, do we present the blackmail letter to this, or do we present Desi to this? Because, like, she hates criminals and cowards more than anything, so that would be a problem, right? Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret? Gulp.
A certain person?
Yeah, the cops. No, I'm just kidding. Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. What? Why? Hey! Oh, listen to me. My Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Cadeau! Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault.
What do you mean?
Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh. No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Yeah, because he's a killer. Don't talk about my Desi like that! or you'll be sorry. He's a killer. He killed him. I don't... What am I supposed to do? Like, he's obviously the killer. It's a Phoenix Wright game, so he probably isn't the killer, but I have no other person that could be the killer, and I have no proof that says, oh, maybe, just maybe, he didn't kill somebody. So this is ridiculous. This whole trial should have been over in seconds. I'm rooting for Godot. I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't gonna let a coffee-addicted robot beat me, but, like... Oh, I don't know. I'm on his side right now. I get it. I really think that Rhonda Light is not exactly innocent, so...
Well, it seems. But we've learned a great deal of things here so far.
What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes.
Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much.
The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. Let's find out what happened. Now we know why you killed him. How did you kill him? When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead.
I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Master Masque struck him on the head from behind.
Of course, since Atomy turned out to be the culprit himself, that was a lie. Ha. No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked! Do you have proof that you were attacked? Do you have, like, a bruise on your forehead? Something?
We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination.
Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. The one he throws at our face? You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Well, then you're the only one, Phoenix. You are the only one, because I don't have faith in this man. I don't have faith that he's going to tell the truth. I don't have faith that we're going to be able to prove him innocent, because what is he doing? Alright, suspicious shadow. Who was the suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and if even one knew, I tell you, trust me. His dodging all of our questions is not helping us win this case. Okay, then how was the victim Mr. Bullard at that time? What do you mean, how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I don't. Forget it. Wow, he can't think for himself. Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. Or being a bit dazed. Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit. So I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. I mean, maybe. Shoot. If I hadn't been wearing that, what the heck are you talking about? That? Could you please clarify what you're referring to? Why, my Masque to Masque costume, of course!
Oh, wait a moment. Masque to Masque?
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Masque to Masque. You did not mention that at all. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security.
What?
Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either.
Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets.
I'm sorry. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind?
Ha! My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony.
Okay. Why were you dressed up as Masque? Why? Because I'm Masque, of course.
What are you talking about? Masque trial is being held next door.
Huh. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Masque issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected.
Took a lot longer? What are you talking about?
Wait and see? I think I'll wait and see how this develops.
Okay, sorry. I didn't realize I was gonna have to press. I thought he was just gonna keep talking.
Hey, why aren't you doing anything?
Because it'll probably end up causing more trouble.
I'll tackle it once I'm mentally prepared. I guess I should prepare myself for the worst, too.
Okay, so I'm supposed to press him. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Why did you do that? Oh, because of Masque. What are you talking about? I thought I was being blackmailed because I'm Masque. Press harder. What do you mean by took a lot longer?
Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body.
This is why we didn't ask him, Maya. We just let it be. What was that? Back up a second.
Yes.
You were the one that hid the body in the safe?
Well, yeah.
Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer?
Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look. Aw.
His metaphor this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Well, yes.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here?
I don't know, Judge.
Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather judge. Took about 10 minutes. Okay. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway?
Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer.
Ron, I swear to God. I swear to God, if the state of Japanifornia or whatever we are doesn't kill you, I'm gonna kill you. That's not exactly what I meant.
When I saw the corpse, I kinda lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it.
Ha! I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes?
What is it, Nick?
I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it?
Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick! If you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were?
That's it! I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence.
We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we?
There's not much in this testimony either.
I bet you he's still hiding something.
I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him.
I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated.
Oh, he will. Of course. Alright. When it came to, he was lying there dead. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took 10 minutes. So we found out last time that there is a buzzer that generally connects to the basement of the security guard office, and they're able to rush up within 10 minutes, I think, is the thing that they're kind of implying. So why would you spend 10 minutes if you know there's this thing? Okay. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? I have no idea what this record is. The warehouse camera went off? That's not it. Oh, the buzzer! Okay. So if he spent 10 minutes hiding it, even though the buzzer went off at 1:02, there should have been a security guard. And he would know that there would be a security guard. So this is all very strange. And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Ha!
Meep! Hello, cheese!
Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building.
That's not true, because he was... Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
But, as it turns out, the guard never came.
That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, aw, Larry, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
Ha! Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
Objection. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that?
Ugh.
Fine. Let's hear your theory.
Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
So what are you trying to say?
Mr. Delight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious. It can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Rondelite and then pressed the buzzer. But I'm pretty sure our court record said that's not a thing. Is there a ledger of the people? I don't actually know. Okay. So I thought maybe there was a ledger that said, like, how many times this office was entered, which would show like 3 if this was true, because it would be originally the CEO plus Ron Delight plus whoever attacked him, which the shadow keeps looking like Luke at me, but we'll see. I don't know. This is kind of a stretch.
Order! Mr. Wright, this is...
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard.
Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
Ack!
So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself.
But then again, Ron Delight knew he had 10 minutes. He didn't run away.
What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? I mean, there's no fingerprints on it, so... I mean, I guess that would have to be somebody with gloves on. So, yeah. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. The buzzer? Because it says there's no fingerprints on it. So, why do we have to keep seeing his dead body? I don't know. That's just what's happening right now. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. What is with that word? I don't know.
The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
You're normally clueless, Judge. This button has no fingerprints on it. This fingerprint has no buttons on it. No, I'm just kidding. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind.
Objection!
Ron Delight obviously wiped them off.
Objection? Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment.
He touched that button. I know he did.
Objection. The defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, was dressed as Masque to Masque. And Masque to Masque always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints?
Order! Order! Order!
It would seem I've been forced to eat crow.
I wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer?
To frame Mr. Ron Delight?
Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden?
Ha! It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. Right? Give me a second. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond? Obviously, it's to set up Ron Delight. That's the idea.
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then.
Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer?
To call the security guard, obviously. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
Ha! What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in?
No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Rhonda Light, who was out cold. And the 3rd person, the real killer.
Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Rhonda Light. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Rhonda Light for the murder. Oh, he's got smoke coming out of his face. Hydrate, amazing. He got smoke coming out of his face, y'all. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I'm not doing a spit take, I'm sorry.
Order, order, order! Ha! It would seem. I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Masque, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're going to drag that person in here right now. But, who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So, the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Rhonda Light for the murder of Kane Bullard?
Well, obviously it was Luke Atme. Because Luke knew that Rhonda Light was Masque from, like, the very first case. He figured it out seconds into that case. Like, he saw Rhonda Light in his little security outfit, and he was like, You're the thief. I already know. You're the thief. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Detective Luke Atme. He's the only one who could have done it.
Ace Detective.
Luke Atme?
You mean Master Masque did it?
Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is... Or that is next to us, is not Masque at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Wow, gasp, shock and awe.
Order, order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself!
Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime?
They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. If you do it, we will kill you.
Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom.
Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as well. Masque.
Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along.
To be found guilty?
Masque had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. That's true. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor, even though the urn is definitely not, like, in his wheelhouse of things to steal. In other words, being found guilty as Masque was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable ally.
A guilty verdict. As an alibi?
Crazy, right?
You know, it's almost time. For what?
For Luke Atmey's verdict, it was a pretty simple trial after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder.
Well, we don't.
Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire nation, or country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal.
Am I really sure about this?
Ha! A bet's only good when your life's the ante.
Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? I mean, you're risking his life either way. Either we pursue Luke Atmey and fail and Ron goes to jail for murder, or we don't pursue Luke Atmey and Ron goes to jail for murder. If we pursue Luke Atmey and we win, Ron goes to jail for grand larceny, which is not as bad as murder, according to the judge. So, it's a gamble.
Phoenix.
Ghost. What was that?
Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust.
Wow. That voice. It sounds like... Mia! Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Ha! So that's your answer, huh?
Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand.
Gasp. Yes, Your Honor. So we have 20 minutes to figure out how to prove that Luke Atmey is the criminal that killed Kane Bullard, specifically. Wow. Oh no, he's the next one over.
Well, Sir Detective Atmey.
Sorry, I was moving my legs around. I don't remember his voice. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Oh no, Sir Detective Atmey, you're the one who...
I don't remember his voice.
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atmey,
guilty. Whoa, wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please! Well, Mr. Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom!
Who's this hoser, eh?
Oh. My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmey.
Accusation? You accuse Master Masque.
That man is not Master Masque. He's just a ruthless murderer.
What?
Spicy. To be continued. I miss the old music. The old one was ba-da-bum-ba-ba-da. All right. Part 4-1, finish. Part 4-2, begin. Yes. I would like to continue playing. Cool. I saved it twice. Alright, I guess we had to file some kind of motion or something. That's the only thing I can think of.
My sis?
I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
So then, she's still alive inside your heart?
Nicky boy! Oh! Miss Delight! Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof, sorry. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night?
Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive.
I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard?
Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Good luck, me. Courtroom number 6.
Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand.
Well, well, how do you do, sir lawyer? I forgot his voice already. I would never have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I think it's the voice we gave, like, Red White back in the day. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Masque. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. Afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on over here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Masque.
Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the arrogant, ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. Wait.
That says, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Was this really meant for Ron? Does Ron have a red diamond? I don't know. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Masque.
Of course.
Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October the 12th, at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. That's not a question. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks. Wow.
All right, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
I already forgot what voice we gave Atme in the first place, so we're giving him this exaggerated voice as best as I can.
I was stealing the urn as Masque, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Masque was the same time as the murder.
That's a little odd, though, isn't it? Like, why would he get that picture taken knowing that the camera was there? So weird.
It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well.
Even the great Masque cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive.
Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination.
A fool is too foolish to know he is a fool.
Aw, that sounds like something Francisco would say to us. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Wow, that is a strong assertion there, Nicky boy. How can we prove it? I have nothing to prove it with. Alright, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct?
Indeed it is!
And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. There's something in that photo that's bugging me, and I don't know what it is. And that is why I'm called Masque de Masque. But conveniently, that also means there's no way to tell who this really is.
Well, what do you mean?
Objection!
Ha! Are you saying that this is not in fact Look at Me? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Masque de Masque to create an alibi? Oh, what an interesting idea! Oh, excuse me. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Who could his accomplice be? I mean... I highly doubt that Adrian Andrews would be helping him, but like... Maybe? No. No, there's no way. If he was at KB Security during the murder, then this would have to be an accomplice. But, I mean, I can't prove who it would be. Then this Masque to Masque in this picture has to be a fake.
Then there really was an accomplice.
But right now, I have no idea who it was.
I don't have any idea right now either.
Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's gotta be another way, and I'm going to find it. More than enough time. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point? That's right! It was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed! There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You truly are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am.
Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. I mean, yeah, but one turned out to be my witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That it is. Is it? The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by this very camera he had set up. I guess? We all have days like that. I don't know. Indeed, it turned out there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad, blue melody. Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I alter the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed the picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see.
Looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious.
So this alibi is false?
It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security.
But I'm not really spotting anything unusual.
Me either. There are two possibilities. Either the Masque de Masque in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Well, let's look at the photo, I guess. Alright, so we have a timestamp. I don't have a date stamp. Like, maybe it's taken on a different day, or maybe Adrian was his accomplice? I don't know why she would, though. I mean, obviously Desiree's not his accomplice, and Ron was passed out at KB security, so he couldn't have been doing it. I don't know. So the only thing I think of is maybe the date is wrong or something, because there's no date on the photo. We have no way to prove that that date is the date that the murder happened. So, alright, I was stealing the urn. It was easy. One turned out to be my witness. Okay, hang on. I guess we're gonna say that he had an accomplice? Oh wait, it was on the first one, JK. It's weird, it's weird, it's weird, but like, how do we prove why it's weird? Okay. This is the proof, right? Yes, it is. I certainly could not have been anywhere else. What do you mean? Ha 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 ha. What an interesting idea. Sure. If Luke Atme was at KB security during the murder, then the mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had an accomplice. Now remember, you've said that, Mr. Trite, because there's no going back. If you're making baseless claims, I'll treat you to a penalty myself. That penalty is probably boiling hot, too. So who is it, Mr. Trite? Who was the accomplice? We don't have evidence, so I'm just gonna have to... Adrian? It's not her, obviously. It was this person! Ha! That's quite the prank you're trying to pull. Do you have any evidence that this person is in fact the accomplice? Well, the aura this person has around them is...
If we're going to judge someone by their aura, you'd be right up there as suspect number 1, Mr. Right.
Okay, well, I guess I am the #1 suspect now, because I have a bad aura too. I jumped the gun on that one. You think? I really don't know. Cause like, there's not really a way to prove who would be his accomplice. And there's not really a way to, like, prove that he was there. I mean, we know in the photo, he seems to be holding the box. And we know that the box was knocked over into some paint, which I'm guessing is what this splotch is, but I don't know. Because there's not really a thing that says, oh, it was for sure the same day. Present the photo? Can you prove it was at the same time? I went the wrong way, but that's fine. No, it's not right. It's still playing the music. So, I don't know. I don't know. Wow. I said, this is clearly faulty, and he's looking at me like,
I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright.
Oh, that one was worth 2. Okay. I must be on the wrong track? Press it again, maybe? About the camera that took this photograph. I mean, he's just gonna continue saying the same thing over and over again, I guess. But I don't know what to do. I know what you're gonna say. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I don't know. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. Yeah, alibi is false. Okay. So when we press the first one, He says this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man is wearing a mask. So you think I could have an accomplice? Objection. Well, we already know there's no accomplice because that's not gonna work. Give it up. And there really was an accomplice, but I have no idea how to prove it. Okay, so either they're hinting that it's it having to have an accomplice or something. And honestly, I don't know. If Adrian Andrews hired you. Evil is what I am. Isn't this weird? But if the urn was stolen while he was the only one watching it, that would be weird. I don't know. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is, that's it. I think I could destroy, prove you committed the crime. You understand by now. Oh, okay. This, changed. That's not what this went down like before. So, he said, even you should understand now. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. So this is different. This is not how it went down last time. So I guess maybe we had to press everything and then press this one? That's weird. Okay. This game does weird stuff all the time. It wants you to circle through, like, 1, 2, 3. It's probably that we had to press the last one and then this one or something. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? So, from what we saw that night, yes, but what we saw in the morning, no? Because the statue was moved. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night, before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night.
Very well. Let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny?
Was it the puddle? I think it's this puddle. The funny part is right here.
Why, this is a bloodstain.
It's not a bloodstain, Judge. Calm down. Calm down.
Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that.
And blood to peaches. Judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. Oh, this case. It's been so long since I touched this game. Super nostalgia. Amazing. Hello. The problem is not with this photograph, is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something should be there. Something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains?
This giant gold statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally?
Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Ha! In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it?
Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
Didn't we just say it doesn't matter who? The guy we're accusing of murder, maybe? The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Come now, Mr. Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. That was way too animated for what he was saying at that moment. I'm so sorry.
Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions?
Judge, please. It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. You know, sometimes I can read.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue?
The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Masque to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single, fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. Why does he say that?
A single fatal flaw?
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? The thing we already pointed to. The lie in this photo... No, not is somewhere around here. Is it the date? Was that what I was supposed to... What? Okay. Jumping to conclusions again. I think you need to take a gander in your local mirror. As the Yiddish proverb goes, a half-truth is a whole lie.
Keep lying like this, and you'll be the one on trial.
Oh man, now they're all calling me a liar. Okay, I guess I pointed to the wrong thing. The question is why the statue moved, right? There was some reason the culprit didn't want the statue in the picture. At least, that's what I thought. I'll ask you again, Mr. Trite. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? There's not a date here, so I didn't think of this. Okay, I guess that was the answer. It was the time. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. Sure.
Well, what do you mean?
I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time.
But what does that have to do with the statue being moved?
Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was this statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place.
What the?
Of course, the statue hadn't been brought down to the basement warehouse yet.
Oh.
So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in his photo.
Wah! Order, order! Mr. Atme, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. Okay, but what other day did it go off early in the morning? That's what I need to know. Oh, I can't look at it. Okay. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with that data. Ah!
Order! Order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this?
Ow.
Mr. Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down!
My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good to the last drop.
However, the defense also has a very good point.
A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied.
Which is?
That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true.
No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor!
Hey, Mr. Damask.
Yes? Wow, that was a weird yes. I'm sorry.
If there's no funny business in your actions as Masque Damask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn.
Okay.
I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and Svari, it was sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand.
Was it, though?
I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of the new information he gave.
Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time?
Svari.
Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright.
Oops, I hit the wrong button on my computer, and it tabbed me to a different game. Don't worry about what's going on in the background. Just some randomness. Okay. We're good. Alright, first received. Blah, 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 blah. It's the box. We're gonna press. I meant to press the first one, and then I missed. You mean this box?
Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone into the storeroom, sorry. Not even me.
Huh. Interesting new tidbit. Okay. Alright, 20 days ago. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Andrews, is that right?
Indeed. It seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation.
What? Alright. I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. Alright. Sent to the warehouse. And so I was unable to see. Okay, wait. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before?
Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, I, Luke Atme, had no information
whatsoever slipped through my fingers. I mean, it wasn't, though. You mean this calling card? That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card.
I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all.
Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Okay. Oh. I don't know what I have. Then no one entered the basement warehouse? Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. For the first time. Describe the urn? And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much.
Hey, Nick, if this photo is a fake, Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken.
That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record.
Not a lot to go on, is there?
That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Okay. Interesting.
Alright then, how do we do that?
There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before he stole it.
We need to prove that he's lying.
How the heck are we supposed to do that? Alright. I was never able to see the... So, clearly we're supposed to disprove this. I'm not sure how yet. Check. Okay. So the urn he should have seen is this. Because if he's saying he didn't see it until he actually stole it that night, this is the only photo that existed of the urn up until that point. So, and then the actual urn now looks like this. So 2 weeks ago, it was repaired and placed in its box, kept out of sight. People shouldn't have been able to see it. Okay. Alright. And then his thing said, I will be coming to purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasures of Crime exhibit. Take good care of the speckled urn, wouldn't you? Oh. Wait. Okay, so that's not right. He shouldn't have known it had speckles on it because the picture that was everywhere didn't have speckles, and he shouldn't have seen it till that night. Objection indeed. Mr. Atme, if you really are Masque to Masque, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Oh, that wasn't his voice. Hang on. Is there a problem with that calling card? It's still not deep enough, but it's the best I can do right now. Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Masque to Masque had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn.
Yes, that is true. But so what?
Truth be told, there's no way that Masque to Masque could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains.
Paint stains?
And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. Humph. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. I wish I could do his voice a little better. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error. Or should I say, error-prone human. That's when the pink paint got on the urn. Ugh, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Wow! I didn't know how to make that sound, so I did my best. Alright.
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Nick? I think it's still a little early for a victory pose.
Huh? Up. Oh, man.
Ha. It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days.
What makes it, you say?
Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Masque. And now, we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point.
No way! Don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive! Might you my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting a second wind!
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Run the Light, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one with any motive we've seen is Rhonda Light. Isn't that right, detective?
Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case.
Is it?
Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Alright, let's do this. For Ron! For Mr. Cinnamon Bun Head. I, Luke Atme, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Masque and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. How do you know about that? And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Masque de Masque. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant?
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment.
I mean, we've presented it in court already. Shouldn't the judge know about it?
Handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
Okay. What?
We knew this! We knew
All about this letter. What is happening right now? We're just adding time? What is happening?
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
Motive for murder.
Alright, had no points of contact. And who in the world is going to prove that?
I will.
Okay.
After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and Kane Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report.
Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security.
Nope.
That was blunt.
In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Alright. Mistook. That's right, mistook. from the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take an error. It wasn't what I meant.
Just who did the victim mistake Master Masque to be?
Why, the answer is obvious. Rondelite, of course.
Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Press harder. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Masque?
Don't you already know that? Zvari, take a look at this newspaper.
Oh, that's the famous Tear of Emanon. A magnificent jewel.
That photograph shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant.
The defendant?
The victim clearly misread this article and Zvari. He got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Masque de Masque.
I see.
That was an unusually reasonable deduction.
I mean, I guess.
Alright. You mean this blackmail letter right here?
It says bring $50,000.
And the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's.
There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it.
But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere.
An addressee?
This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. And Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant.
I wonder. What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? I mean, we did point out that there's a weird passage in there about a red diamond.
Whoa, do you have any evidence of that?
No. For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter.
Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied?
No. What do you mean by that? Oh, he said something that I didn't read it out loud.
Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. Zvari.
Yeah. And I stole data from the company. Okay, I got it. Sorry.
Cain Bullard had yet to forgive young Mr. Delight, which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief.
Here is a file that we discovered in Mr. Bullard's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullard was receiving money through blackmail.
Speaking of, let's look at this thingy. Hydrate. That's not gonna wake me up. A second hydrate. Wow. That's your technique? Double hydrates? Amazing. Alright, hang on. Alright, we have the Tear of Emanon, which is a blue jewel. We have a crown, a sculpture, a painting. There's no other jewels mentioned. So if he's talking about the Tear of Emanon as the red jewel or red diamond, then he's wrong because it's blue. So there's a problem here.
However, isn't this a bit odd? Why did the defendant pay Mr. Bullard the money, even though he wasn't actually Master Masque?
On that point, there was an unfortunate bit of chance.
Oh, because he believes he's Master Masque. Got it. Do you really think that story is gonna hold up?
That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid.
What do you mean?
I have here a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight.
Basically saying her husband's not Master Masque because she don't believe it.
Roddy thinks he's the Master Masque. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him.
That's him impersonating her.
Ha! Well, Mr. Trite,
Was he trying to act like Miss Delight just now?
I thought he was actually pretty convincing.
No, you didn't. That was not pretty convincing. Alright. Now that's just your imagination talking. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is the deduction, the result of carefully applied reasoning.
Can we hear that careful reasoning for ourselves?
It's a long story, and better save for another time.
Very well, another time.
Those so-called long stories aren't usually that long. At least, not in my experience.
So you're going to try to connect Detective Atme to Mr. Bullard, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either.
In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail.
That's true. Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron?
Since we don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony.
Maybe I'll be able to shake some contradictions loose that way. Will I? Alright, so... we're hinging on the fact that it's not Ron Delight, right? Like, that's the whole thing. I mean... If we're wrong, we're just gonna lose some more points. So, a blackmail letter. Here you go. Just... no, you're wrong. Okay, I guess he is wrong. Well, shoot, I don't know. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Just because it doesn't have an addressee on it? Is that the whole point here? Contradiction?
I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
You're one to talk.
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior?
Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Fight him to the death. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter.
The letter says red, but the newspaper says blue? Maybe? Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. Sorry. Hold on. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
Red?
Which means, the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Masque stole at all. I should have read it before I started talking.
And your point is, Mr. Trite? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, is that what you're trying to say? Right, Nick?
Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. I mean, obviously it's Luke Atme, right? Like, that's the whole point, is that that's what we're getting at? Oh, I hope so. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single Masque case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
No, I'm just kidding. Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. Is that a diamond? I would have thought it was a ruby. Ugh. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Ah!
Order! Order in the court! Order, I say!
It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite.
Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that.
Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you for real?
I don't think somebody would say it in that voice, but it's fine. Yes, I am.
Nick, come on, stand up to him.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Yes, it certainly does.
Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity?
Mask to mask? I don't know. Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
The identity that Luke Atme wanted so desperately keep secret was his identity as Mask to Mask? Right? Because he's... Hang on. So Ron said... What did Ron said? Ron said he was stealing as directed by the blackmail letters. So... would it be a blackmailer? And then Ron's a blackmailer? Probably wrong. Luke Atme was a blackmailer. Are we about to lose?
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit, that does sound a little odd.
It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Is it? Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving the blackmail letters after this incident?
Yes, it was just a few days after the Tear of Emmedon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Rondolite was actually Master Masque.
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. I mean... Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron Delight. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Masque. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from a second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Is he just confessing?
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
I mean...
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron Delight was Masque?
I don't know. Because he saw him in the security guard outfit? I don't know, that's probably wrong. I think I see it. I don't. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Rondelite in his guard uniform. It seems that Masque didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. Okay. Wait. I couldn't read that. Was he supposed to be Masque?
Holy God, looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective.
I couldn't read any of the things that came before that. So, I guess I get to do this one. Why you? How dare you expose me like that? Alright. Why I mean, I never blackmailed anyone in my life. I am a famous and proud ace detective and also Masque. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you? How dare you even dare to imply those who want to try something to yourself with a big mouth of yours? You're all fools. Fools, I say. None of you can compare to my genius. You're all justice. Oh, go on, disgrade me. Commemorate me. They're great detectives. I can handle blackmail, murder, threats. I'll get away with all of it. It's enough to make one laugh. That took a lot of breath to do. Hang on. I gotta breathe. Okay.
It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by you, Mr. Atme.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme.
Oh, now what? What, Godot? What? What do you want? You coffee man, what do you want? What do you want, coffee man?
The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
Well, what do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
That's literally his job, though. Like, his name is Judge. You can't steal his job. What? You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr.
But there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is my final round. And I'm just gonna save, cause I'll probably get it wrong. I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night.
But can you really prove that?
That's long enough. Mr. Trite, I want to hear your answer.
Oh my god, I don't even get to think about it. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security and the defense I don't know. Can we prove it? Can we prove that he was there? I don't know. Can we prove it? Okay. Blunt trauma to the head. So, okay, he had blunt trauma to the head, but he was also strangled? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we can. We'll just pick this and then we'll just reload in a minute. I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
Did you? Hold on. You were on my side a second ago. But if we hear more of Detective Atmy's testimony... Wow.
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten? Luke Atmy is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. And face his guilty verdict as Masque.
Sorry, I got distracted for a second. No.
Well now, Mr. Lawyer, it seems that love wins out on the all.
What? What was that?
Well now, Mr. Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective, as well as Masque. My verdict will verify that. Mrs. Rondellites will verify that he is the true murderer.
Why is verify the word that I couldn't get?
I declare that with all the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Okay. Great.
Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is. Well, we're gonna just reload it in a second anyway.
Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
By then it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
Wow. Okay.
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
Does it? I don't think that's true. I don't think it should apply to the witness.
Mr. Atmy will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Masque, which means...
Oh, okay. I see the logic now. All right.
He will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atmy's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
That was me. Okay. Guess I'm just gonna have to reload real quick. As soon as Phoenix stops being dramatic. Give me the game over screen so I can reload, please. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Atmy, will go free. I mean, he'll be in jail as a thief.
We have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
I don't think I've ever seen a game over screen in this game, so let's figure it out together. Wow, he's so smug.
Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmy.
Dun, dun. Okay, the wife, maybe? I think I see it. I don't remember her voice. I think it was like this. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. Oh my god. Who is insulting the judge?
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to... Oh. That's not who that's supposed to be. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice. No way. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the Karine channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me. But right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not yet over. That's not how that was written, but it's okay. Well, what do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Love wins out, I am the ace detective, and everywhere he's the murder. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods would do anything to me, look at me.
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Okay, I guess we didn't lose. Woohoo! Mr. Godot, what are you?
Very well then, Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. We'll just use a mix of her voice and Ron Delight's wife's voice and call it a day.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. You got it, boss. Even though you've been dead for like 2 years. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Masque outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim just likely mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Does it? I mean, why would the killer sound it, though? This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. Okay. Oh no! Okay.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But, how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer?
I will not allow any of your unusual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Atmy's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec. Just one chance?
Ha! It seems the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem?
Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it?
Okay, so we have to press something.
At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17. The last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Great, which means all I have to do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Alright.
Remember, you only get one chance. One opportunity. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, Phoenix.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
I had to. Y'all are all along for the ride. I'm so sorry. Alright, let's see. Okay. If we only get a chance to press one of these statements, I'm saving again. Because I'm gonna guess that we only get a chance to press one of them. So we have to decide which one to do before we get to the end. Okay. He's not at Lordly Taylor. I wish I could press this one because it would give us more information, but it's not the wrong one. I had known about the date, so I had the photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light. Thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. Also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. Is that true? I mean, we can't really present anything, but was it true that it only sounded once? Oh yeah, it did only sound once. Okay. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Okay. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Sorry, therefore all the evidence points to that poor boy. I guess ask him about his job? I don't know. Let's go back to the beginning. Alright, so the only thing I can think of is the vitally important request, because I don't know what else could be the thing. But he doesn't really have to tell us, and we're supposed to pick the one that's wrong. So, I don't know. I'm gonna try it, and if we have to restart, we have to restart. It's fine. We just saved, so. Mr. Atme, about this last remark. Up. Okay, that went in.
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
What?
I said this before. There's still one thing you haven't proven. That this scum was in Kane Bullard's office that night. And now, it's time for me to drink my last cup.
Mr. Wright, I will hold you to your end of the bargain.
No, he won't. Won't hold me to nothing. Okay, so it takes all of my points. That's what I was afraid of. So, okay. So... I don't know. Alright, so we're not allowed to ask him about his other job or anything. I'd known about the date beforehand. My brilliant deduction informed me that Ronda Light was true culprit. Was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. Button did not have fingerprints on it. Was wearing his Masque outfit. Button a letter, the victim just mistook the color of the jewel. Before events points that billboard. Do we have anything going on there? I literally don't know. Okay. So we asked him, like, how did you know that... Oh, well, the judge asked him, how did you know that the buzzer didn't have fingerprints on it? He said, well, because they told me. Mr. Delight was wearing his Masque outfit, which is true. Oh god, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to lose here. That doesn't make any sense, so... Okay, this is true. Fingerprints, which means the killer sounded it. Everything he said is true, and Mia said to pick the one that's not true, so I don't know. And I don't think they're gonna let me go back through his testimony if I get to the very end, so I have to pick one. I was not at Lorelei Taylor. We can't press this one, so 1 and 2 are out. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. Okay. The date beforehand. How did he know about the date beforehand? Just because it was the day before the exhibit, or? Because I don't think this had a date on it. I mean, maybe it did. Is it this one? Nope. Nope, that's playing out the exact same way. Can't be that one. Hi, Suo! We're doing great. We're doing our best. Okay. So it's not 1, 2, or 3. I mean, you're sleepy. Nice. Well, not so much. You should get some sleep. I'm also kind of sleepy, but I had my first day at my new job today, which was lots of fun. You slept most of your day away after stressing. Oh no! Yikes. 3rd time's a charm. Maybe it is. Ooh, I know. Exciting, right? I learned quite a bit today, but it was all very fast-paced, so I'm hoping that tomorrow's a little bit slower so I can actually figure it out. You don't get your first day till Wednesday. Okay, that's not bad. You'll be there soon. How was my first day? My first day was good. Like I said, it was a very fast-paced learning environment, so I'm a little nervous, but I took notes. I'm doing my best, and I'm hopeful that by tomorrow, I'll be able to just hit the ground running. I just don't know if I will yet. So, all right. You know you will. You're just another... Oh. Ouch. Another car broke down after we got the car for 2 weeks. Dang, that sucks, Suo. Stuck to down to cars anyway. Aw. Ask questions. Always ask questions. I've been asking a lot of questions, but the people teaching are trying to teach us, and they're also very busy at the same time. So it's become a little difficult to kind of like grab them and get an answer and then move on. So I'm hopeful that tomorrow will go a little bit more smoothly, maybe be a little less busy. But I know there's a lot of stuff that they need to get done as fast as possible, so that's become an issue. Oof, that's rough. That's always. Aw. That really sucks, though. I'm sorry, Suo. Hopefully the car situation gets a little bit better, and you won't have to sit in that forever. Keycard and wallet, abundantly clear. Okay, he knew about that from the police report. He knew about that from the police report. He knew about that from the police report. Victim left prints, killer. It's just a deduction. Was wearing his Masque outfit, which is why he left no prints. Okay, we knew that. Wait. We didn't know that. We only found out about it in the courtroom. We're taking care of it after the cruise? Nice! High five on the cruise! That'll be exciting. Okay. Follow me for a second. We only found out about the Masque outfit in this courtroom. Nobody else knew until we were in here. Like, Ron didn't even tell us outside of the courtroom. So, maybe? He would have had to see him or be in the courtroom to know this fact. So, we'll find out, I guess. Please don't make it happen the same way again. Mr. Atme, about this last remark. Of course, it's happening again. Wait. Oh! Hey, we said something different. Okay, nice. I was about to restart it. Thanks. Just until then, it's going to be rough. Glad you got to see. I'm glad you got to see me too. I'm glad we got to see you. And I'm hopeful that your first day goes well on Wednesday. You'll have to come tell us all about it. Okay, so Phoenix says, I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atme, it seems you finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? And you get to go home on time and to relax. Oh, I hope so. That would be the best part. Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Masque outfit. Is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. Yeah, when's your cruise, Suo? More like your deductions prove that you are a fool. Ooh, burn. I'm sorry? Whatever do you mean? No, they're not, you fool.
For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Masque when he went to the scene of the crime?
Oh, that was,
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my 6th cup of coffee was looking at me with a cold stare.
Oh, did I forget to mention it before? It's alright. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now.
He's getting a bunch of voices, because I don't remember. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know about this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Masque. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know this piece of information? Well...
Come on. This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
Should have known, could have known. Oh. Fair enough. And it's those chances I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Masque outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one? One way, you say?
I can't really do Godot's voice because I did Atme's too hard. Hang on. Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
Ah! For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible.
obviously. I mean, they've been doing his pose forever. Detective Atme, you saw Masque to Masque at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Uh-oh. Who's blowing up? It's me. Okay. Mr. Godot, you're smoking, and not in a good way, right? Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. He did this already.
That's the same line you gave yesterday.
Right? I was just thinking that. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. Maniacal insanity laughter. I got it.
What an awfully complicated incident.
Right?
Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Masque in order to escape his true crime.
That laugh you're doing is so good, it's terrifying. Thank you. I didn't practice. It just came out of me. And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. What's with the
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me.
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me.
Oh, hey. It's you.
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict.
I know, you never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But I really am Masque to Masque.
Huh?
So, thanks to the trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right?
Thank you for the hydrate.
What was it you said? Double jeopardy.
Now that you mention it.
I've been careless.
Wow. We got him declared innocent of being Masque to Masque, and so now he's innocent forever. Careless. What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Masque to Masque is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. For now.
Now then, this court finds the defendant
not guilty! Woo! We lucked into it! Woohoo! And we put that hideous clown away.
Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I am still Masque to Masque after all.
So just stop being Masque to Masque. Problem solved. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah. It's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Crime Channeling School? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around.
Bye, Mia.
Mia.
Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all this has happened. Come on, just be happy already.
Maya?
You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Masque to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything.
Aw, it's hot here. Oh no!
Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Masque. I did it all for one reason. For her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but...
It was 92 degrees in your apartment yesterday. Yikes! I really hope that means Fahrenheit, because if it was Celsius, you'd be burned to a crisp.
Once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became Masque?
Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick?
Right.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
I can? I wish you would check with me first. Oh, what the hell am I supposed to prove? Alright, let's see. What do we have that proves that their love is love? I don't know. I don't know. Celsius, you'd be dead, but yes, it's Fahrenheit. You slept like 2 hours in the past 24. Ooh. Yikes. I'm sorry. Are you okay? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. How do we prove that they are going to be just fine? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to prove that, like, she'll love you forever. Like, that's not... I don't know. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. A bowl can't be fixed, but the urn is fixed. Oh! Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's been broken and repaired, so... I guess it's supposed to be like a reference to the technique of fixing bowls with gold, where if a bowl breaks, you're supposed to like repair the cracks with gold so that it's more beautiful. It's probably a play on that. But
the secret urn. Desi was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything.
Ah, there you are.
Mrs. Delight.
You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I don't know what that voice was. I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Masque either.
Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? You're okay, just tired and overheated? Aw, I'm sorry, honey. I hope you're getting plenty of water, and I hope that the AC works for you. I don't know if you have AC in your apartment, I will be perfectly honest, but I hope that you can get a nap in somewhere where there's a little bit of air conditioning. You don't have AC. Yikes. Are you able to get like a window unit or something like that? I know you're in another country, but my goodness, that's too hot. We don't have ACs in general here. No. Oh. Well, what are you supposed to do? You're gonna die of heat exhaustion. That seems silly. There's gotta be a way that you can get some kind of AC there. Or at least, like, be able to sleep one night in a place with AC, because what the heck? A window unit is not allowed? Why not? That doesn't make any sense. What about well, they're kind of prohibitive cost-wise, but like a portable one, you just have to run a hose outside and also like a literal hose because the water. Mobile unit, but can't afford. Ugh. I'm sorry, Anna. That is definitely dangerous, and I hope you're able to at least get somewhere that can help you stave off the heat. You would have to remove the window to install a unit. What? You just raise the window and you put the unit in the window. I don't understand. I don't understand. Does your window not raise, or is that a thing? Because you like block off the rest of the open piece. We don't have windows to raise. Oh, that's kind of weird. It opens like a door. They're just like they open outwards, like in the opening scene of Beauty and the Beast or something. You know, bust the windows open. That's a little weird. All of your windows do? Dang. Oh, inwards. You gotta pull them. Okay. I mean, I guess that would be a lot harder. You'd have to have like a sideways one, and you have to like have it wide enough to fit the whole window, or you'd have to put it in the window and then like put like cardboard or something above it. Sliding windows are not a thing there. Huh. That's kind of weird. I never would have thought that sliding windows would be like a country specific thing. That seems a little strange. But yeah, I'm hoping that you can find somewhere that would be not deadly hot, because 92 degrees is not safe. Oh, she said how could she let him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast, there's no way he could ever get away. Didn't you say that you hated criminals? You're going outside, it's a lot cooler there now? Ooh. I guess I can imagine that it would be cooler outside. Is it safe to like open the windows at night maybe? Like, would that help at all? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them. Like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Oh, she will make up any excuse for him. Got it. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Yes, but you have a loud alarm that would wake up the whole building, and when you leave, you have dogs that may bark and wake up the whole building. Oh. Well, I mean, even if you crack the window, it would wake up the whole building? That doesn't seem right. And I guess you'd have to close the windows when you leave, but like... Ooh. Like, if nothing else, like at least at night, where it would help. You almost lost one of the boys because of people complaining. Well, even if you close the windows in the morning and then, like, when you get up and you're like hanging out on stream and whatnot, you would like close the windows then, and then I don't know. I don't know the best route because I don't know how to make things cooler. We have ACs because it's so miserably hot where I am. So on days where it's 92 degrees outside here, we have an AC like in our houses. And I know that's a pretty US centric thing. I know it's not really the same in other countries, especially in Europe, but like, ugh. I can't imagine being in a house that hot. I think I would not be used to it, is mostly all I can say. You can't wait to be there. Yeah, it's much harder there, but AC everywhere. That's true. That's true. Businesses, homes, gas stations, everywhere. Everywhere has AC pretty much. Places that don't have AC are considered not places you would want to live. So. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Sorry, I got distracted. Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. Gulp. I can feel my face going red. We haven't needed them really in this country until a few years ago when the temps started rising globally. Yeah, that would do it. Oh my god. I thought she was back home.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations!
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife, in front of Mystic Maya!
No, you've got it wrong.
I would never forgive you, never ever!
Your typos are because you're standing on your table bent over to type, not because of heat stroke. Are you sure? Just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Very okay. That's so nice. I mean, it was their treasure, and now the paint is everywhere, but it's fine. Woohoo! We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay! I'm not doing the whole song, I'm so sorry. A brand new episode has been added. So we won't be starting it tonight. Because, like I said, I did start my new job today, and I am very tired after it. But I wanted to come and finish up this case, and of course, we have some stuff to do after that. If this is the case that I'm thinking of, I kind of remember a little bit about it. That doesn't mean I'll be any better at it than I was at the previous one, so I'll try. And then, of course, we've got the fourth case, which is this darkened one here. That is my timeline for the cosplay that I'm putting together for this game, is this mysterious fourth case here. I don't know why I pointed this way when it's on this side of me. So we will be starting episode 3 to this game next Monday. It's 74 outside right now, and it's 92 in your apartment. What the heck? What the heck, Anna? Why are you dying for no reason? I'm so sad for you. Please crack a window. Something for a little while. And then when you leave, you could just close it again. I know that you probably won't be... Oh, it won't cool off in here. Oh. They are cracked. Maybe like a fan or something? Blow the colder air in? Well, no, because by the time you get back, it probably will have heated up, so... Ugh. Already here? Oh. I guess. Ugh. That's awful. I'm so sorry, Anna. That, honestly, the fan is right behind you. Is it helping? Because, like, it sounds like a miserable time. I'm so sorry, but it does. And I'm really hoping that... No, it's not helping. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just circulating warm air? Ugh. Even though it's 74 outside? Like, it's just not helping at all? So, what we've done in the past here, at least me and my family, like when there's been hurricanes and stuff and the power's gone out, what we do is we get a thing of ice. Well, of course we go to the grocery store or the gas station or whoever has it. And we put it like on the fan, basically, so that the fan is blowing melting but cold water-ish air at you. And that kind of helps. Swamp cooler, there you go. Daydreamer knows what I'm talking about. Thank you, Suze. So yeah, like if you swamp cooler it, that should help a little. You said you have a 4.5 meters of window facing south and a flat roof on the 3rd floor. So it's gonna be hot as crap. Got it. Got it. Might have to do that later today. Not going to get much better today. Yep. Maybe better to put the ice in front of the fan so the fan is blowing across it. True. And ads, hang on. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so while I wait for the ads to finish, so we will be playing Ace Attorney again next Monday. We'll be starting on episode number 3, Recipe for Turnabout for this game. It'll probably take us a couple weeks to finish, just like this one did. So I don't think we'll be able to finish it the first go round, but we'll do our best to get as far as we can. Aw, thank you. That'll definitely help with your ads, because if you are subscribed, you don't have to watch them. But yeah, so we'll be continuing with Ace Attorney next week on Monday. Since it'll still be the beginning of this new job, I don't know for sure what time we'll be starting. I know we started a little bit late today. Hopefully we won't start as late next week. And hopefully we won't start as late the rest of this week with our other games that we're going to play. So I will be back tomorrow with some Palia. I will be back Wednesday with some more Wildflowers. And then Thursday, there's actually a game coming out on Wednesday that I've been really, really excited to play the full version of. It's called Love Ghosty. And I think what we're going to end up doing is either I'm going to play it when it drops on Wednesday, which kind of break my streak, but still, it'll be opening day. And maybe instead play it Thursday. So that way I can play Wildflowers Wednesday and then Love Ghosty on Thursday. So you have a great day, Anna. I hope that things get a little better for you. I hope it cools off a little for you. And like Daydreamer said, maybe put the ice on the front. We usually put it on both sides, just so that it's blowing from and to. But yeah, swamp cooler it up, honey, because that's going to be miserable tonight otherwise. So please, please, please take care. Anywho, so like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with some more Palia. We did manage to get our plushie last week, so I'm really excited about that. So we'll see, maybe do some quests. I might have been romancing a a certain Inquisitor in the background, and I might have a quest to do for her. So we'll have to see how that goes. Since she's, totally not allowed to be in love with us ever. We'll see if we can convince her that we are the right choice. And then, of course, on Wednesday, we are continuing our quest to marry everyone in Wildflowers. We managed to finally marry and divorce someone. It was Kim. Poor Kim. They'll be okay, I promise. Our next sights are set on Kai. So hopefully we'll be able to marry and divorce Kai on Wednesday. And then, maybe we'll go after Amira. If I can swing it, I'd like to get Amira done. Then maybe we'll make it summer. Or maybe we'll go after Cameron. This kind of depends on how things shake out. I just want to make sure that we get to Amira before the end of summer. So I'm trying to get her done at the end of spring so that we can just get it out of the way. But yeah, we'll talk about that more on Wednesday when we get started up. So thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Like I said, I'll be back very soon, tomorrow, and I don't know what time. So, yeah, hopefully it will be a fun time. So, I hope you all have a restful, relaxing rest of your evening. I hope you get a snack if you need it, and I hope you remember to hydrate because it is good for your brain and your body. And, yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye!